What is going on? Welcome to today's video. My name is DeCosta of ShreddedForLife.com, and I've got a very special video coming at you today. Different than the normal content I would post on the channel. Usually it's based on fitness, but this video is arguably way more important than all the other stuff that I post, and the other stuff that I post wouldn't even be possible without the work of these individuals that I'm highlighting in this video. This video is my top 10 mindset mentors, individuals that I really listen to and value based on the way that they live, the messages they share. And I'm a firm believer, for you watching this video, that it is not possible to build the body of your dreams without working on your mindset first. And I certainly for myself, I would not be able to be where I am right now and where I'm going with my physique if it wasn't for leaning on individuals like the ones in this video. So let's dive into mentor number one. Mentor number one is Tony Robbins. Now, if you are a consumer of personal development work, it'd be hard to believe that you have not heard of Tony Robbins, but this is an individual who's at the top of the game, I feel, in the motivation, inspiration, finding your purpose space, and rightfully so. My father used to listen to his tapes in the car, yes, cassette tapes, back when my dad was in his 20s, and Tony's someone that I pay attention to, so let's listen to him.
In people's lives, there's only maybe half dozen, 7, 8 categories that really matter. Most people, they major in minor things. They focus on stuff that doesn't matter. They know more about this celebrity going in and out of rehab than they do about their own personal development. But I look at and say, if you look at your body, without that, everything else is out the door. You don't want to be richest man in the graveyard. That's not going to do it. If there's energy, if there's vitality, if there's strength, it's going to show up in your relationship. It's going to show up in your business, show up in your life. That's an area you got to master. You can't dabble. It's too important. Emotions are everything. I mean, you got a ton of money, you got everybody loves you, and your primary emotions are pissed off and frustrated, then your life's pissed off and frustrated. It doesn't matter if you got $1 billion or 1 million people loving you, your life is not great. Relationships, intimate relationships especially. It's where the most juice in life comes from. It's where the most pain comes from most people. It's worth mastering instead of dabbling. Really looking at what are you going to do with your time and mastering your time. Instead of having a checklist, you cross it all off. You can mistake movement for achievement. I want to squeeze out of that time what matters, that creates value for me and for everyone I care about and love.
Mentor number two literally created me. His name is DeCosta, and he is my father. And my father, needless to say, has had a profound impact on my life. If you are blessed to have a positive role model as a father in your life. My father came from humble beginnings, grew up in poverty in South Boston, and from that space, from working hard, was able to move from the lower class into the middle class and really champion the life of his dreams for my family, for my older brother, my younger sister, and my beautiful, loving mother, Linda. So without further ado, let's listen to my dad. And no, I didn't throw him in this video just because it's my dad, okay?
Recently, I was just reflecting upon the mindset required to be opportunistic, to take advantage for opportunities. And it really does start with the expectation that opportunities are coming. Because if you are expecting opportunities to come, you are far more likely to be prepared for those opportunities. Because again, getting ready for an opportunity once it presents itself is often too late. You got to be ready at that moment. And so in order for you to be prepared, you've got to be optimistic. You've got to believe that they're going to come. Because of course, if you're pessimistic or a realist, as all pessimists say they are, well, there's no sense in being prepared because those opportunities won't come, or there's no way to know that they will come. Yet the optimist fully expects the opportunities to come and therefore prepares for them. So here's my conclusion. Optimism leads to opportunism. You got to be an optimist before you can be opportunistic.
Mentor number three, his name is Will Smith. A lot of us know Will Smith. Will Smith is an entertainer. He is a musician. He's a wonderful speaker. I don't have to go in depth on Will Smith. Let's listen to him.
99% of people are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true. The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. The center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline. Something as simple as food and eating. It's not about your body as much as it is about your mind. It's getting command of your mind to be able to choose actions that are in your own best interest. Every day we are choosing shit that's not in our own best interest. So if the world is attacking you and the world wants to fight you and the world's trying to hold you down, so you're gonna kick yourself in the balls? So you're gonna stop yourself from getting what you dream.
And I think the word discipline has kind of gotten a bad name. We think about it in terms of punishment. I'm not talking about discipline in that way. I'm talking about discipline in the sense that you forego immediate pleasure for the exchange of long-term self-respect.
Mentor number 4, his name is Stephen Covey. When I first got into personal development work, bettering myself, understanding I have personal responsibility, my dad gave me a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, written by Stephen's son, Sean Covey. And I read that book sophomore year of high school, I believe, sophomore, junior year, and that was really my introduction into this type of work, the idea that I can become more than I am. Let's listen to him speak.
Habit 1, be proactive. Basically means that your life is a product of your values, not your feelings. That your life, or the organization's life, is a product of your decisions, not your conditions. The opposite of being proactive is to be reactive, which basically means that your life is a function of your feelings, your moods, your impulses, other people's treatment. The underlying principle of habit 1, be proactive, is to take responsibility. The concept is you and I have the capacity to choose our response. If you don't believe that you're capable of choosing your own response, if you don't have that vision of yourself, if you're deep into victimism, I'll just about guarantee you will become disempowered.
Mentor number 5, his name is Shetty. Shetty has really come on the scene in the PD space in the last year or two, and I love the messages that he shares. I think he's a beautiful human being inside and out. He hails from the UK, and he became a monk for a period of time and drew a lot of insight about himself and the world from that experience, and now he shares it publicly quite often, and I'll let him do the speaking.
People were so far removed from their own understanding of themselves that they were either lost living a life they didn't want to, lost living up to someone else's expectations, or lost becoming someone to impress someone else. How many of you have a crazy dream or a crazy goal? I want you to write out in the comment section, what is your crazy dream? The dream that keeps you up at night is the real dream you should be chasing. But to chase that dream, to find that dream, to make that dream a reality, you need a strategy, right? A dream without a plan is just a wish. Tony Robbins said that, right? A dream without a plan is just a wish. You can't be what you can't see. If I never saw a monk, I would never have wanted to be a monk. If I never meet a billionaire, I wouldn't want to be one. Because I wouldn't know what that feels like. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it takes. What am I good at? What do I love? What does the world need? And how do I get paid for it? To me, those 4 help you unlock your passion.
Mentor number 6, his name is Dr. Wayne Dyer. I've started to pay attention to Wayne Dyer quite a bit in the last 4 or 5 months, especially on my contest prep, keeping an abundant and loving mindset, and the way that Dr. Wayne Dyer carries himself, his ways of being are quite profound, and let's let him take it away.
When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Albert Einstein once observed that the most fundamental and major decision that you have to make in your life is this: do I live in a friendly or a hostile universe? Which is it? Is it a universe that is filled with hostility and anger and people wanting to hate each other and people wanting to kill each other? Is that what you see? Because when you see the world that way, that's exactly what you will create for yourself in your life. This is from great scientific minds. And the interesting thing is that this is not just a clever play on words, that when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Mentor number 7, his name is Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn has passed away at this point, rest in peace, same with Dr. Wayne Dyer, but his messages carry on, and those individuals who champion personal responsibility and building the life of your dreams, present day, many of them have learned from Jim Rohn, and rightfully so. Let's listen to his messages.
Somebody once said, if you took all the money in the world, divided it up equally among everybody, it would soon all be back in the same pockets. Incredible. Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. Success is looking for a good place to stay. So instead of going after it, you work on yourself. Personal development. See, the major question to ask on the job is not what are you getting. The major question to ask on the job is what are you becoming? See, the big question is not what am I getting paid here. The big question is what am I becoming here? Because true happiness is not contained in what you get. Happiness is contained in what you become. So that's our major subject for tonight, personal development. Of all the assignments Mr. Schoaf gave me at age 25, this was probably the most difficult. In fact, I'm still working on this one. I think it's an unending challenge to see what you can become.
Mentor number 8, his name is Ryan Holiday. Ryan Holiday is a young stud, is an individual who has gained success quite early in life because he is intelligent, he's a hard worker, and he's a champion of the philosophy Stoicism, which he's an author. He's written quite a bit of books, I believe 6 books in a short period of time. And this Stoic mentality is a mentality I work hard to adopt every single day. I read the Daily Stoic, which is a daily dose of Stoic philosophy, and I feel many in the world can really benefit from Ryan Holiday's work in Stoicism. Let's listen.
For me, success is a couple things. I think it's to have the creative freedom to make the things that I feel compelled to make and produce, having the sort of lifestyle and personal freedom to set up my life how I want it to be, right? So to not be, oh, I've got to go to Cleveland tomorrow for this thing that I don't want to go. Like I want to have that freedom. And then I think success is also getting better. Like I love books. I love writing. I've dedicated my life to this craft, and I want to be like one of the best people to do it. And so success is, am I moving up in my abilities? Like, is every book, regardless of sales, is it better than the one that came before? That's also one of my definitions of success.
Nearing the end, my friends, mentor number 9, his name is Jack Canfield. The second personal development book I read after 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens is The Success Principles. Jack Canfield hails from where I'm from in West Virginia, in a town called Wheeling, an hour north, and he moved from poverty to writing the Chicken Soup for the Soul books, and the book, The Success Principles, which has really radically transformed my life in a way that I cannot even begin to explain. Let's listen to him.
Now, Jim Rohn says you can't hire other people to do your push-ups for you. I love that quote. I can't hire, what's your name? Rob. I can't hire Robin to go to the gym and work out for me and have my muscles get more toned. I can't hire you to meditate for me and I'm going to get a higher consciousness. I can't hire you to do my planning for me at night so my day is more organized the next day. All the things I'm going to teach you are things that you have to do. There are things that no one else can do for you. There are things. You can delegate certain things in your life, but not your health care, not your meditation, not your exercise, not these principles and strategies that we're going to be learning here today. So the first principle, building on that, says you must take 100% responsibility for your life and your results. And what that means is you have to give up all blaming, all complaining, all excuse making, all looking out at the world and saying, well, if the world were different, then I would be better off. Right now, we're all upset about the Chinese and the Indians are using more oil, which is sending the oil prices up, and we wish that wasn't happening. Some of you may love the president we have, some of you may not. We go through all these things where we say, if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for the war, if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for her, if it wasn't for the economy, then my life would be working perfectly. But there's a little formula I learned that's very, very powerful, and it really is the basis of everything I teach. It says E plus R equals O. And what that stands for are the events in your life, you have a response to them, and that creates outcomes. And
Mentor number 10, his name is John Maxwell. When John Maxwell speaks, people listen. That's the best way I can put it. He's a man of faith. He's a man of people. He's a man of service. He's a man of his family. And I pay attention to who he is, who he be, instead of just what he says. And my dad has worked with John Maxwell in the past, shared the stage with him, and that's been a blessing to see. And because John Maxwell has hundreds of New York Times bestsellers, let's listen to him.
If you are comfortable today with what you were comfortable with yesterday, you're already in trouble. Nobody ever went uphill by accident. You have to be intentional with what you do and who you are. The more valid reasons you have to accomplish a dream, the higher the odds are that you will. The first question is your dream really your dream? And that's where we start at. Because can I tell you something? If your dream isn't really your dream, ain't going to work. Yeah. So what I tell people all the time is we start off our life living someone else's dream, probably our parents. So what happens to a lot of people as adults, they never switch. So true. And so they're still living someone else's dream. They're putting on someone else's armor, and they just aren't going to achieve because it's not who they are. It's not their dream. So I think a lot of times we have clarity on where we should go, but there's a lot of emotion that holds us back. Sure.
That's it, guys. That wraps up my top 10 Mindset Mentors video. I hope you found this video helpful and hope you can appreciate the diversity that I'm looking to bring to my channel, because the reality is it's much beyond fitness. It's way more than fitness. And if we do not work on our self-talk and the stories we tell ourselves in our brain, then we aren't going to be able to do the bicep curls and the squats for a consistent period of time and lead from the right space. So in an era where thousands of hours of content is uploaded to YouTube every single minute, Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Hulu, you name it, our attention is pulled in many different directions, and it's more important now than ever in 2019 to intentionally choose where we decide to give our consciousness, where we decide to give our energy, okay? So, invitation to you guys to first comment in the comment section individuals that you love to pay attention to that make you a better person. Make you a better person. I would love to hear what podcasts, etc., books you've read, but also audit your time. That's the takeaway from this video. Audit your time. Are you spending too much time consuming stuff that's not serving you? Perhaps you can YouTube one of these individuals and allow their wisdom to infiltrate your life. So again, my name is Brian DeCosta of SheddedForLife.com. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, dropping that first like, and dropping that first comment. And if you've been around for a while, thank you for giving me your trust and your time. Much love to you. I'll see you back on the channel in a few days. Peace out. Need this paper, I done turned to an insomniac. Let's go. I want crazy, crazy type.